Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to my podcast. My name is Lynette. Today we're going to talk about putting it all together. This is episode 30. So if you've been following the last 29 episodes, by now you're probably feeling pretty good. To recap on that, some of the important thoughts were, it's okay to glance at the past, but don't stare. And with that, you're bringing yourself back to the present moment and really and truly all there is, the joy, life, living, being there centered with the people that you're with is being in the present moment. I didn't realize how much I was living in the past until I started saying this. And honestly, I have to say it to myself every day, if not multiple times a day, because it's very easy to let your mind slip back to the past. But by saying that, eventually it will become a habit or a way of life. And then you can really enjoy your life at that moment and the people you're with. And the people that you're with can tell when you are present with them. Have you ever been with someone and you can tell they're distracted? But if they show a genuine concern, a genuine enjoyment for your company, for being around you, then you know that they're in the present moment and they are with you. That would be the number one takeaway. It's okay to glance at the past, but don't stare. One of the other takeaways, and we'll call that number 2 for the sake of this podcast, is do not depend on anyone to make you happy. In other words, sometimes you can go along in life and you can think, oh, so-and-so is doing this. Why isn't my life in the same situation as theirs? Or my friend is going here and there. Why aren't I doing it? Whatever it is that makes you feel inferior or inadequate, you need to let that go, because it's like being in prison if you're always living to somebody else's standards, trying to compare your life with someone else, because you really don't know what their life is really all about. So just by being you, you are unique just as you are. And by saying, I'm not going to depend on anyone to make me happy, brings you back again to the present moment, to enjoying yourself, to accepting who you are. A couple things I learned recently that were really helpful to me was that some of the best things in life come when you least expect it. Life is fun and interesting and full of surprises. You never know what's going to be right around the corner or what may happen in 5 minutes. So just enjoy and let life unfold. You don't have to try to control it. You don't have to hang on so tight. The third important thing we talked about was keeping your priorities straight, and that is God, yourself, your family, and then everyone else. And when you do that, the people who count on you and love you can feel that they are a priority in your life. I used to think that putting myself first was selfish. But if you don't put yourself first, you're no good to anyone else. Then you become the person that needs the help. So if you take care of yourself, then you can go back to giving of yourself your full attention to those that are a priority to you. One thing that I've learned, and that's what this episode is really all about, in putting it all together. And although these simple rules or epiphanies, they are very simple, but they are also life-changing. And I got to tell you, even within myself, applying these simple principles have been life-changing and freeing at the same time. There's so much freedom to not trying to live up to somebody else's standards, to realizing that you're unique just as you are, or that you don't have to depend on anyone else to make you happy. There is so much freedom in that. You can go to Starbucks by yourself and sit there and enjoy your own company. And when you really put yourself first, you love yourself, and you can count on yourself to take care of you. I don't believe that we should undermine ourselves in any way. It's not necessary to do that. You can still give others what they need and keep yourself first and keep yourself healthy and happy and keep yourself knowing that yourself can count on you. God blankets over all of this, of course. I personally have a lot of faith. So when we get to the point where we've applied all these principles and life is going pretty good the way we want it to, something about when life is normal, sometimes you can feel a bit dry. Not bored, but a bit dry. And I myself, I know when I'm going through exciting moments, I want them to go on forever. And when nothing is happening, I feel like I don't know if I'm actually doing the right thing anymore or not. So what you need to carry with you, what you need to know, is if you've applied all of these principles, you've got to know within yourself that you're being the best that you can be, that you're doing your best, that you're on the right track, even when nobody's patting you on the back, even when things are status quo. That's where real faith comes in, and that's where you have to know within yourself that you're always doing the right thing. Every comment you make is the right comment. Everything you do is right. And especially if you're doing things for the right reason and you're following simple principles. So in putting it all together, that's what I wanted to bring to your attention, is that although we've talked about so many ways to improve and change our lives, that at some point you're going to be there, which is wonderful. And that's when you need to know that your life is just where it should be, that you're being your best self, and that you're wonderful and unique just as you are. My hope is that you've been able to apply these principles, and if you have forgotten some of them, that you go back and listen again. Each one is valuable. And if you're new to this podcast, I would recommend that you go back and listen carefully and get the epiphany out of each podcast episode. We're up to episode 30, as I mentioned earlier. And this is where the whole thing has gone full circle. You are living your best life. You are thinking the way you should be thinking. You're enjoying the people around you because you're in the present moment. And again, I want to say another thing that I've learned, because I've been applying this to my own life, is there are times when it feels dry and you start to second guess yourself. But don't do it. You've done the homework. You've laid out the footprints. Just follow the path that you've laid out, and you are on the right track. And things will still be unfolding. They will continue to unfold. But you can also have a knowing within yourself that good things are coming. Good things will continue to come your way when you least expect it. You don't have to work so hard at making things happen. God knows what you need. Move forward. Just know you're on the right track. Don't expect kudos or pats on the back from anyone, but give them to yourself. But this is bringing your life full circle. And now that it has all come full circle, it's time to just walk forward. Pick yourself up, walk forward. Know that you can count on you. Have faith. Know good things are coming, and enjoy what you have right now. Sometimes we put friends or excitement ahead of those that we love. And it's interesting how when we have people around us, family members, significant others, you tend to just kind of take it for granted, whether you realize it or not. But we all need to remember that each and every person is a human being who needs acceptance, who needs love, who needs to feel special. So I don't know why we give away all of that. We hold back sometimes on giving it to those that we should give it to. So I'm going to close with encouraging you to remember that those that are in your life are human beings also, and they need all the love and respect. With that being said, I'm going to close for now, and I thank you for listening. Bye-bye.